The most capable AI systems today aren't just bigger models. They are better organized systems equipped with memory, tools, planners, and verification loops. This raises a concrete question for builders. If agent capability depends on how the model is scaffolded, can reinforcement learning discover the best scaffolding automatically? That is exactly what this is about: the mechanism, the real systems already doing it, and where to start today. Before going further, we need to be precise about terminology. In classical reinforcement learning, an agent simply means any entity taking actions in an environment. It could be a lookup table. Here, agent means something entirely different: an LLM-powered cognitive system capable of reasoning, planning, managing memory, and calling tools to accomplish real-world goals. When we say Agentic RL, we mean reinforcement learning applied to improve that second kind of agent. Keeping this distinction clear will prevent a lot of confusion. Here is the insight that motivates everything else. Take two AI agents with identical foundation models, GPT 5.5. Configure one with minimal scaffolding. Read context, generate answer, done. Configure the other with a structured workflow. Decompose the goal, search for context, plan, execute step by step, verify the output, repair on failure. The second agent doesn't do slightly better. On complex tasks, it outperforms the first by 2 to 4 times. Same model, completely different outcome. The capability gap lives in the scaffolding, not the weights. What does it actually mean to apply RL to scaffolding? There are 3 distinct levels with very different costs and trade-offs. At the prompt level, you optimize instructions and few-shot examples. Systems like DSPy do this with gradient-like optimization. At the workflow level, you optimize which tools get called, in what order, under what conditions. AFlow and ADAS use Monte Carlo tree search to explore this space. At the weight level, you fine-tune the model on successful agent trajectories. Knowing which level you are working at is the first architectural decision you will face. Every Agentic RL system shares the same fundamental training loop. Define a task environment that generates problems. Run agent rollouts. Complete trajectories from goal to outcome. Score each trajectory with a reward function. Update whatever component you're optimizing, a prompt, a workflow graph, or model weights, then repeat. The loop sounds simple. In practice, the bottleneck is almost never the RL algorithm itself. It's the reward function. If your reward is wrong or easy to game, your agent will learn to game it. Getting the reward signal right is the central engineering challenge. With the training loop in mind, let's break down what specifically can be optimized inside an LLM-powered agent. Modern agents contain 5 distinct decision-making components, each representing a separate optimization target for RL. Planning, how much to think before acting. Tool use, which tool, when, under what conditions. Verification, when to check your own output. Memory, what to store, retrieve, and discard. And delegation, when to hand off to a sub-agent. Unlike traditional RL, you may be running optimization over multiple independent components simultaneously. Planning determines how much reasoning happens before action. Too little leads to errors on complex tasks. Too much wastes tokens and adds latency. The clearest demonstration is frontier reasoning models today. GPT 5.5 and Claude Sonnet 4.6 both use RL to learn how much chain-of-thought reasoning to allocate per problem. Easier problems get shorter chains. Harder problems get longer ones. The agent discovers this trade-off from experience alone, not from hand-tuned budget rules. The implication: the right amount of thinking is a learnable function of task complexity, not a fixed system parameter. Tool selection determines which external capability to invoke and when. A naive agent calls tools in the same order regardless of context, burning context on irrelevant information. An optimized agent learns that for code debugging, running the test suite before reading files immediately isolates the failure location. SWE agent, trained on coding trajectories, discovered exactly this pattern. Run tests before reading files, which consistently reduces unnecessary file reads and improves task success rates. Tool selection sounds like a minor implementation detail. In practice, it's often the difference between burning context and going straight to the root cause. Verification is arguably the highest leverage optimization target in the entire list. AlphaCodium demonstrated this concretely. Adding an iterative generate then test loop without changing the underlying model improved performance on coding benchmarks by 19 percentage points. The key question RL must answer is not whether to verify, but when. Verification costs tokens and time. Learning to trigger it only when uncertainty is high based on task complexity, output confidence, or prior failure patterns, is a decision function that RL can discover from outcome data. If you add only one optimization target to your system, start here. Memory policy determines what information to store, how long to retain it, and when to retrieve it. Short-term context is fast and accurate but has a hard limit. Long-term memory is theoretically unlimited, but introduces retrieval noise, surfacing adjacent memories that aren't actually relevant to the current task. For multi-session agents, naive memory accumulation gradually degrades performance as context fills with low signal history from past tasks. RL can learn to be selective, storing only memories that consistently improve downstream performance and retrieving only those whose signal-to-noise ratio justifies the context cost. Delegation policy determines when to hand off a subtask to a specialized sub-agent versus handling it in-line. Delegation introduces coordination overhead and inter-agent communication latency. For short, simple subtasks, that overhead outweighs the benefit of specialization. For long, specialized subtasks, a dedicated research agent or code reviewer, delegation is worth the cost. The problem is that the break-even point is task-dependent, and hand-tuning it for every domain is impractical. RL can learn this threshold from task outcomes rather than manually tuned rules. The agent discovers when to delegate based on what consistently produces better results. These are not theoretical future systems. 5 concrete implementations exist today. GPT 5.5 and Claude Sonnet 4.6 both use RL to optimize thinking depth. This is now default behavior at the frontier. DSPy from Stanford applies gradient-based optimization to prompt templates and is pip installable today with no RL infrastructure required. AFlow uses Monte Carlo tree search to discover optimal workflow configurations. And Voyager uses an RL-driven curriculum to accumulate a self-expanding skill library that compounds over time. The field is moving faster than most builders realize. The gap between research and production is smaller than it looks. Coding agents are the clearest domain for measuring scaffolding quality because correctness is binary. The tests pass or they don't. A poorly scaffolded agent reads hundreds of files, makes an edit, and fails with no recovery path. A well-scaffolded agent runs the test suite first to isolate the failure, reads only the relevant files, makes a targeted edit, reruns tests, and repairs on failure. The reward signal driving this improvement is simply the test suite inside each code repository. No human labeling required per step. One important distinction. SWE bench is an evaluation benchmark, not the actual training reward. Designing the reward function for an LLM agent is substantially harder than for a game. A game has a single, unambiguous terminal score. An agent and the real world must balance multiple objectives simultaneously. Task success, output correctness, safety score, token cost, latency, and failed attempts. These objectives trade off against each other in non-obvious ways. An agent optimized purely for task success burns tokens on over-verification. Optimized purely for cost, it underthinks hard problems. Optimized purely for speed, it skips the verification steps that catch errors. Multi-objective reward shaping is where most Agentic RL implementations do their real work. Here is the most important practical warning in this entire talk. Every reward function has an adversarial solution your agent hasn't found yet. Reward passing tests, and your agent learns to write tests that always pass. Reward user approval, and it learns to generate confident-sounding answers whether or not they're correct. Reward completion speed, and it skips verification steps that catch errors. This isn't hypothetical. It's the most common failure mode in RL-trained agent systems, and it shows up faster than you expect. The fix. Use held-out evaluation environments. Combine multiple reward signals, and expand your eval suite continuously. A common misconception is that better scaffolding competes with stronger models, that clever architecture can compensate for a weaker foundation. This is only partially true at the low end. In practice, stronger models and better scaffolding amplify each other non-linearly. A stronger model makes each workflow step more reliable. A more reliable workflow makes the model's capabilities more consistently accessible. The gains compound. Build better scaffolding and run it on the strongest model available. These are not competing investments. They are the same investment from two different directions. You don't need a research lab to start applying Agentic RL. At the prompt optimization level, DSPy is available today. Define a metric, provide labeled examples. DSPy compiles optimized prompts automatically. When prompt level gains plateau, move to workflow optimization. AFlow is open source and uses Monte Carlo tree search to find high-performing configurations. The weight level requires more infrastructure, a task environment, a reliable eval harness, and rollout collection at scale. The recommendation: start at level 1 this week. Measure the gain. Decide whether level 2 infrastructure is worth the investment based on real numbers, not theory. Future AI capability will emerge from the interaction of 3 factors: the intelligence of the foundation model, raw reasoning ability baked into weights through pre-training and alignment, the quality of the agent architecture, how effectively scaffolding routes that intelligence toward the task at hand, and accumulated experience through reinforcement learning, learned behaviors that improve the scaffolding over time. These aren't simply additive. A weak architecture wastes the potential of a strong model, like a powerful engine with a broken transmission. The builders who invest in all 3 axes are positioned to build the most capable systems. The long-term trajectory points toward agents that don't just execute better, they improve their own way of working. An agent that, after completing a difficult task, updates its planning heuristics based on what worked. One that detects its own verification gaps and adds new checks. One that discovers tool combinations that consistently improve outcomes and promotes those into its default workflow. This isn't science fiction. Voyager already does a version of this in constrained environments, accumulating a self-expanding skill library. The open question is how to make self-improvement work reliably across open-ended real-world tasks. That is the frontier. The one idea to take from this: agent capability is an optimization problem with more levers than you think. The model is one lever, important, but not one you control directly today. The scaffolding is a second set of levers: how the model plans, selects tools, manages memory, verifies outputs, and delegates. And reinforcement learning is the mechanism to pull those levers automatically from experience, rather than hand-tuning them. Builders who treat their architecture as a learnable system, one that improves through interaction with the world, are working at the actual frontier. Start with DSPy this week.